Alright, who's ready to do the morning routine? Are you sure? Money's a renewable resource. I am all the money I need. I am what it takes to be successful. It's all inside of me. I'm aligned with the divine because I am the divine. Yeah, I know I'm walking the fine line, but that's inside your mind. I ain't self-law and master, forecaster of my own fortune. That's why I speak with.
What's up, y'all? It's that time again for another episode of Columbus Black on Blast. Once again, make sure you check us out at ColumbusBlack.com to find all the super cool episodes where we highlight movers, shakers, and creators right here in the capital city doing amazing things. But before we get started, make sure you download the Mile app. That's M-Y-L-E. It stands for Make Your Life Entertaining, where you find things to do, places to go, and food to eat right on your phone. And as we say, just mile it. I want to give a special shout out to my man Cap City Nitty for putting this production together, and to UTS TV. That's UTSTV.com, where you can check it out. That is the only women-owned, black women-owned broadcast network in the nation. So you want to make sure you check that out as well. Now, without further ado, it is time for us to talk about you.
My
what
man.
is up, man?
What's good, Kev? Kev's bringing the energy in
Yes,
here, man. I like it, man. I like it.
Well, look, you bring a lot of energy, so I gotta step up my game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, hey, listen, y'all. Today I'm really excited. So I have J.Manley in the house with us today. Many of you know him. Many of you seen him in a number of different areas, spaces, and places. But today, for those that don't know you, I want them to get an opportunity to know who J.Manley is and what it is that you're doing to really impact their lives, right? So you really are a mover, shaker, and a creator. So excited to have you on the show. So now, one thing, y'all, is James and I go way back. Like, I actually watched this young man grow up, right? So he was my neighbor growing up, and then we worked together in corporate America for the same company, and then I saw him just kind of blossom and do his thing, and I'm really excited for you. So I can't wait for the audience to understand who you are and what it is that you're doing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and who you are first?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the introduction. Like Kevin said, we grew up together, go way back from Columbus, Ohio. He was my neighbor, and actually, he was like one of the first, individuals that I seen that was like doing this thing and like really putting in the work and just growing himself developmentally. But so I grew up here in Columbus, Ohio, went to Gahanna Lincoln, ran track, played football, and from there got a scholarship, attended Ohio State, was at Ohio State, ran track, was a Big Ten champion there. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. And I am not fast anymore, so let's just keep that. Let's put that out there right now. I do not have the fast twitch that I had back when I was in my early 20s. But yeah, grew up here, Columbus, Ohio, Ohio State. Like Kevin said, I've worked in multiple different, companies, with in the corporate America space. But I have twin boys, Cameron and Landon. They're 12. They're killing it right now.
Growing up so fast, man. It's unbelievable. So Kev's been, he's seen like the true journey of, where I've started and, how I've grown into where I am today, man. He's actually been a huge contributor. I think I've reached out to Kevin in my lowest of the lows and also in the highest of the highs, and he's always had that wisdom, insight to allow me to keep pushing forward and just have someone to go to. I think that's something that anyone needs. So if you don't have someone that you can go to whenever you're struggling and whenever you're doing well, right? It's not just when we're struggling that you reach out to these people, mentors. It's when things are going really well, make sure that you recognize them and then ask them, hey, how can I help you? So if you don't have someone in your life that you can do that, I strongly, highly suggest you do that ASAP. Like if you get off or done watching this, make sure you go find out who that person is where you can just be fully transparent to. That's right. That was a gem drop for those that didn't get it. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have that confidence, somebody you can lean on and reach out to, not only, as he said, when you're in the valleys, but also when you're on the peak. And the good thing is I've actually been able to see you on a lot of peaks, and I look forward to many of those, right? So,
that's what's
but
up.
as a part of the whole process, we know there's ups and downs. So I appreciate you sharing that as well.
No doubt.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. When we come back, what we want to do is begin to tell you a little bit more about James and what it is that he's doing. What is J.Manley Fitness and Aesthetics?
Yeah, there you go, J.Manley Fitness and Aesthetics.
All right, good stuff. So we'll be right back, and we're going to tell you more about that. But in the meantime, remember, this is where you check out all the highlights on ColumbusBlack.com. For those that we're putting on Columbus Black on Blast, where we highlight movers, shakers, and creators, and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Kevin Lloyd. I am the co-founder and CEO of Mile, which stands for Make Your Life Entertaining. Mile is a super cool social activity and entertainment platform that allows you to quickly find things to do, places to go, and food to eat right on your digital device. As we all know, some people have what we call FOMO, right? So that's the fear of missing out. Cool part is with Mile, there is no FOMO, right? So this is where you can truly make your life entertaining. So I'm inviting you to download the app today and find all the cool events that are going on right around you. Now, if you're a promoter, if you host events, you definitely want to download Mile because you can post your events and you can promote your events. And it sends out this really cool alert to everybody that has the app to let them know about your event. So without further ado, you need to make sure that you check it out. So once again, when you're looking for things to do, places to go, and food to eat, just Mile it.
All right, y'all, welcome back to ColumbusBlack on Blast, where we highlight movers, shakers, and creators. Once again, we are here with J.Manley, and he's about to tell us a little bit more about J.Manley Fitness and Aesthetics. So what is J.Manley Fitness and Aesthetics? What do you do, and how did you even get here?
Yeah, so J.Manley Fitness and Aesthetics is it's an online fitness business.
Okay.
So for me, obviously, I've been a part of the fitness world, since the age of 4. I played sports my whole life. And between track, football, like I said earlier, and as I got older and track, football was done, for myself I was like, all right, like what's next? And I'm
now what?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, now what? And my journey got really interesting because I felt like I deserved a break. So once track season was done, it was my senior year. We celebrated the wins and everything. I was like, all right, I need a break because I've been going, for years. I mean, I graduated, I was 21, and I started when I was 4. So
17
sports,
years,
yeah,
just nonstop.
yeah. So I felt like I needed a break, respectively so. But that break ended up turning into I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years once I was done. And I had built a lot of muscle, and my eating probably wasn't the best because at that age you can eat pretty much whatever you want, especially if you're doing sports, and still had a body you desire. Yeah. And I noticed a lot of my muscle mass starting to go away, and for me that was tough, man. Because being an athlete and always being in shape and kind of being that model figure for health, you know what I mean, and then going and being
just kind of
couch
potato-ish.
And like that, and then also just not having energy, you know what I mean, I kind of turned 2 weeks of I'm gonna take a break into 2-3 years, and I just noticed that my life wasn't going where I wanted it to go. I was partying, drinking on the weekends,
really took off.
I completely, because I was so structured that I'm like, man, I need some freedom. And I was like, not outside of not, being consistent in the gym, I wasn't doing what was right for my body. And, and at the end of the day, that sparked me to say, hey, I need to make change. And I needed to take some form of action. And
so what'd you do?
Yeah, so I got a coach.
Okay.
So
how about that?
Yeah. So knowing me, I was a product of coaching, right? I've been a part of sports teams, my whole life. So I got involved with it was actually a female. Someone referred me to a female, and I got into bodybuilding. So
okay. That's right. I remember.
Yeah. So I got into bodybuilding because I'm like, okay, I need to build some muscle. And everybody's talking about doing these fitness shows, and I'm like, all right, what are they? I feel like I could do it, and it's something that you can work towards. And so I got into that, and then I started to really understand more about my body, how my body responds to nutrition, how to do workouts. What I mean? I've always been told what to do. So as an athlete, and I never really once stepped back and was trying to take that in as knowledge to retain. It was just more so, okay, go wake up this time, just doing it, going through the motions, and it's you don't realize once you're done, okay, what all did I do? Back when my coach had me doing X, Y, and Z. Right. So I had a coach walk me through that. So, how do I know how many calories I need to perform at my best and work out in the gym? And how do I know, how often I should be in the gym or the type of volume I should have in my workout so that way I can actually build the muscle that I used to have. So I really took notes from her, and I ended up going with, I had 3 different coaches. In my stint of just, being the pupil, right? And before, even started my business. And the reason why I went with 3 different coaches is because I liked different aspects that they had to bring to the table. And I invested, you know what I mean? And I didn't mind spending the money because I'm right now, it was in me, and I knew I was going to grow from that. And as I continue to see progress, as I continue to post progress, and people started reaching out to me, and I'm like, I'm not, like, hey.
When you was looking real
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
big time you were doing the shows, it was really impressive.
Yeah, so I was for them to my coaches, like, hey, here's my coach. But then I thought about it and I'm like, well, I'm learning the information. Like, why don't I just teach these people what they're asking me, because they're coming to me. Like, and I have something to offer. So then that's when I invested in myself again, and I got certified as a personal trainer. Went through a certification and maintained that ever since. And now it's crazy looking at the growth. And let me be real with you guys. It didn't start off with me having an idea and taking action right away. If I had any advice for you guys, is take action when the iron's hot. Like, strike while the iron's hot, because I knew that I wanted to do this in 2014. I didn't start until the end of 2016, so I waited almost 2 years. So, So yeah, take that action fast, man, because I don't like to dwell on it, but I look back and I'm like, man, what if I would have had this, like, went with it right when I had the thought and knew it was for me. So that's kind of how I got started.
Okay. So walk us through what that has evolved into now. So what does that look like for you from a business standpoint?
Yeah, so it's crazy because you think about, like, I didn't go to school for business at all. Actually, my degree is in criminology. I don't even know my degree.
That's right. Yeah.
But I always knew that I wanted to work for myself, and I just tried to figure out, like, what that actually looked like and how do I do it. And you know, you have those limiting beliefs whenever you're trying to start something new that, oh, I can't do it. And you know what I mean? Like, or how am I going to figure this out? You're trying to figure everything out, right? Instead of just making that firm decision, you know, commit to it, and then you resolve all that later as you go through time, right? Yeah, so, you know, I started off and it was just like, hey, get that certification. And then once I got a certification, I started putting together plans and, you know, doing meal plans and you know, in the beginning, you know, I tested this on my friends. So it's like,
that's how you start.
That's how you start. You gotta, Hey, let's do a case study. You know, like, hey, I know that I have information that can be valuable for where you want to be. You know, how do I coach them? And like, you know, it's free. You know, I was like, hey, you know, I know I'm new in this, and it started off with Excel sheets, Word documents, and YouTube. Like me texting them, hey, here's the exercise on YouTube, and like shooting it to them. And that was the start of it. And then as things progressed, I started feeling confident. I'm seeing my friends' bodies change, their mentality change. That progressed into even more. And I invested in a business coach. Shout out to Eddie. He's here locally in Columbus. He helped me out, you know, just build structure, right? Because you can go at it, but until you have structure, you don't have any foundation behind your business. And he really helped me create that structure, and helped me just identify some things that I wanted to focus on with my fitness business online, and how do I help clients, you know, get their bodies without even actually seeing them in person. And what we did was we kind of set that foundation, and then I looked at how I got to where I am today, and what really contributed to it. And the first thing I would say is you got to start with your mindset. Like, if you don't have the right mindset and you have a lot of self-doubt, you self-sabotage yourself about where you are, and you say things that don't promote, you know, growth, then you'll stay exactly where you are. So I started my whole program with focusing on the mindset. From there, we do the fitness, the workout programs. I have a 16-week online program right now. It's called the Aesthetic Athlete System. Okay. So that's what I have now. It's 16 weeks. It is inclusive of the mindset training. I have 3 different phases of workouts. So your workouts I'll switch 3 times within that 3 weeks, and then obviously, you know, what you do in the gym really doesn't matter if you don't have anything going on in the kitchen, right? So exactly, they're comprehensive of each other. So I have the meal plans that are comprehensive of each phase in my program. So high level, my phase is there's a aesthetic shred phase where you cut fat, right? And then there's a strength phase where you build your strength up, and then the last phase is the aesthetic athlete phase, where you continue to grow. And then my goal is to, once my clients work with me, to not need me anymore. So after that 16 weeks is over, you should have a nice foundation to continue your fitness journey.
That is outstanding, setting you up for sustainability, right? To be able to take care of yourself.
Right.
I love it. So listen, there was a few gem drops in there. You continue. One of the things that I like that I'm continuing to hear from you is this whole coaching piece, right? And the fact that even though you grew up in that environment, right, as an athlete, you still use coaches to help you to grow and develop, and it's helping you in a significant way. So I want y'all to listen to that. Don't take that lightly, right? Sometimes we try to do it all, and we can't, right? You need somebody who has that expertise so that can help you or have a different perspective. And then the other piece is the structure, right? That organization, that structure. You talked about that even in your life of you had that rigid routine. Then when you let it go, it's like
it's so crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
You got that structure back, and now look at all that you're doing, right? Even with your business, that's phenomenal. So All right, well, listen, y'all, we're going to take another quick break, right? So when we come back, we're going to understand a little bit more how you can get engaged with James if you're looking to improve your health as well and get closer to him in that aesthetic piece, all right? So without further ado, we'll be right back to Columbus Black on Blast, where we highlight movers, shakers, and creators. We'll be back shortly.
Hello, my name is Kevin Lloyd. I am the co-founder and CEO of Mile, which stands for Make Your Life Entertaining. Mile is a super cool social activity and entertainment platform that allows you to quickly find things to do, places to go, and food to eat right on your digital device. As we all know, some people have what we call FOMO, right? So that's the fear of missing out. Cool part is with Mile, there is no FOMO, right? So this is where you can truly make your life entertaining. So I'm inviting you to download the app today and find all the cool events that are going on right around you. Now, if you're a promoter, if you host events, you definitely want to download Mile because you can post your events and you can promote your events. And it sends out this really cool alert to everybody that has the app to let them know about your event. So without further ado, you need to make sure that you check it out. So once again, when you're looking for things to do, places to go, and food to eat, just Mile it.
What's up, y'all? We're back to Columbus Black on Blast, where we highlight movers, shakers, and creators. Once again, we are here with James Manley of J.Manley Fitness and Aesthetics. And he just broke down a lot of great things and dropped some serious gems from a knowledge perspective. But I want to understand, you know, we do this real talk piece, right? As an entrepreneur, what has that been like for you? Like, what is some of the adversity? Because I know sometimes people hear a story and they're like, oh, I'm going to go do that today. And we want them to be inspired and motivated.
Right.
But we also want them to know, like, these are some of the challenges that you will have to overcome to be successful. So for you, what's your personal perspective or anything you want to share with the audience about some of your challenges to even get where you are?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest things, you know, and I think that even showed up before I even started, like, you know, having coaches and whatnot, was the investment, right? So looking at the financial investment and looking at it more of as an expense instead of an investment, meaning that there's going to be a return there. And it wasn't until I got over that concept that in order for you to really make that progress and push forward, you can't be afraid to invest in yourself. And that goes in any aspect of your life. We're quick to invest in that new iPhone, right? Or hey, I want to get that fresh cut every week, or
I know that's a bunch of those, right? And the ladies, they got to get their hair done and right? That's an investment,
right? And you know, or even, you know, going out to dinner, you know, every week, like. So, you know, we invest no matter how we look at it. We're investing in the lifestyle that we ultimately have, whether that's in the things that, you know, are giving us that instant gratification, or things that are going to help us continue to grow, develop. And for me, I was always like scared to spend that money on things that like would do that. And you know, it was you know, before investing, you know, I spoke on having, you know, business coaches and whatnot. Like having business coaches is not anything cheap, right? And I'll tell you, the first time I invested, and I'll be fully transparent, the first time I invested in a business coach, I didn't have the money at all. It was $3,000, I think it was at the time. And like, I took out a small loan, and I knew that, okay, if I'm going to invest in myself, I'm going to put the work in. And that's exactly, you know, I'm not about to waste my money. So I did that, and that was to help structure my business, so then that way I could effectively reach people. If I'm not investing in myself to grow my business, how am I going to really have an impact on people, to give them the best tools, resources, to be able to help them have breakthroughs in their life and whatnot? So I had to get over that, and that was one thing that that was scary. I think anytime you're spending money, right, even some money that you don't have, but you know you're investing in it, it's a challenge. And every time I've invested in a coach, I've made the money back, like either developmentally or through the scale and growth of my business. And even when I think about like my health, like how I got the return on investment from, you know, plugging, you know, money into living a better lifestyle, I had better energy, so I could be there for those that I loved in my family. At my job at the time, I was excelling because I had energy to be more focused, right? I wasn't sluggish at work, and it just had an impact more than even just myself. So
okay, all right, love it. That was another major gem drop, right? So I want you all to think about it, right? When you spend this money, are you investing or are you creating an expense, right? And I think the return on that investment is something that you should be looking at. So look a little bit deeper into what he just said. So you obviously invested in yourself and you got the payback from it, but you worked for that payback.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to be consistent. I think the only difference between, you know, me and anybody else is I just never quit. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. It's like, you know, there's gonna be times. There were times where I was like, oh shoot, like how am I gonna make this work?
Yeah.
And then that's where you just keep grinding. You're gonna have ups and downs. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs think that it's just like everything's up here. No, there's times where I picked up substitute teaching to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Last year this time I was substitute teaching.
Wow.
And it's crazy to think about like the growth that you know, I was substitute taught for like 3 months before I actually like things started like taking off with my business and, you know, having the transformations and whatnot. But you know, there was some pits there where I'm like, man.
Yeah, like no, and that's the real talk piece that I'm talking about. Like a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't realize that this is what you have to go through in order to really make it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. You gotta embrace challenges. If you're not embracing challenges, like that's the only time you grow.
Right.
Like just imagine if we were perfect the whole time. Like where's the level to grow there? You know what I mean?
You don't grow.
Yeah, and no one's that. So you gotta embrace challenges. I expect challenges because I know, like, all right, when I'm in a challenge, I'm like, let's go. That means this means I'm about to learn something. Even if I fail, I know I'm gonna learn from it and I'm gonna continue to grow and excel. So
outstanding. All right, so check this out. What we need to know next is how do people get in contact with you, right? So they're like, listen to this video, like, I need to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can reach me at my Instagram account. I'm heavily involved on Instagram. My account is JamesManley _. So JamesManley ._. You can find me there. I'm always delivering value. That's my whole goal, and I connect with all of my followers. I DM about 50 people a day where I'm talking about, hey, how can I help you?
Nice.
And you know, I'm working with a girl right now. She's like, I don't know how many calories I need to eat, so I'm like working with her to give her those calories, so in that way she can live a healthier life. I'm into really impacting people's lives through fitness, and I believe that's God's calling for me, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Amen.
So.
I love it. All right, good stuff. So now you know how to get in contact with him. And then I just have another question for you. So how do we help you and how do we support you? When we think about your milestones, how you want to grow your business, right? Especially now you're doing this online piece. You can touch so many more people without, like you said, having to be in front of them all the time. How do we help support you as an audience in the community?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing really for me, you know, because my whole goal is, like for this year, I have a goal of 100 transformations. So even if those 100 transformations aren't directly, you know, through my business, create some awareness around your health, right? When you look at America and the African American population, we make up 40% of the obese population, right? Wow. And I think that it's all due to just a lack of awareness behind nutrition and working out. You know, even when you look at our females, the obesity rate is 56%. Wow. You go to the CDC and look that up right now, and that's every other black female you look at is overweight and obese. So how you guys can help me is by taking your health as a priority. You know what I mean? Start doing that research, and if you have questions, you have my Instagram account. Reach out to me. I can help you. I have resources that if you're not a good fit for me, that I can plug you with and help you get to where, you know, you're taking your health a lot more serious, because we only get one life, and you hear this YOLO, but it's not funny until you're sitting in the hospital, you know, with a heart attack, you know what I mean? Because you didn't take your health as a priority. You know, the number one cause of death for African Americans is heart disease. So I just want you guys to really start taking that as a priority for yourself.
Wow, that's the heavy part, right?
Yeah.
So take it serious. So while you do some really great things, and then they check you out, give us your Instagram again.
Yeah, so the Instagram is JamesManley _. Yeah. And I'm always posting on there like daily. I posted right before we started here, my favorite protein shake if you want to lose weight or if you want to gain muscle. So like I'm always out there dropping knowledge for you guys to really just make that jump into start saying, hey, I'm going to do something different than everyone else. I'm going to start taking my health more serious.
That's right. And I promise you, when you check out his page, you're going to be very impressed. I guarantee it. If you're not, hit me up, right? So anyway, so with that being said, I have a question for you. Has ColumbusBlack.com done anything for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Put me on blast.
That's what we do. We highlight movers, shakers, and creators right here in the capital city doing amazing things. I'm excited for the fact that we had the opportunity to spend the time with you today.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
right?
Most definitely.
Well, good stuff. Remember, folks, check out all of our episodes of Columbus Black on Blast on ColumbusBlack.com. One key message that we always share with you all: in order to understand or be more successful in your future, you need to understand a little bit more about your past. That's the reason why we just put James Manley on blast.
I appreciate it.
And check out all the episodes on ColumbusBlack.com. If you have not downloaded the Mile app, that's That's MYLE. Make your life entertaining. Make sure you do that today for things to do, places to go, and food to eat. We talk about FOMO, right? That's the fear of missing out. And with Mile, there's no more FOMO, all right? So make your life entertaining. Download it today. And once again, I'm going to wrap up in normal fashion like I always do. I'm out.
All right, who's ready to do the morning routine? Are you sure? Money's a renewable resource. I'm all the money I need. I am what it takes to be successful. It's all inside of me. I'm aligned with the divine because I am the divine. Yeah, I know I'm walking the fine line, but that's inside your mind. I ain't self-law and master, forecaster of my own fortune. That's why I speak with caution. Idle talk makes me nauseous. If it ain't about me and mine, we decline your invitation to bad vibes. I had my share of those in the past life. Ask for not, act right, say it loud. In the greatest, tell yourself.